So with all this talk about another Nintendo Direct happening very soon, as well as Nintendo now doubling down and recommitting that Metroid Prime 4 will be releasing this year, I wanted to talk about everything regarding these two possible Directs that we could be seeing very soon, as well as why it's looking like the Switch 2's first holiday on the market is going to be a big one and just a larger one than I think most people are realizing. Now in terms of that rumored Nintendo Direct that could be happening this week, the person who said they have sources telling them it's happening this week also said it's a part of a larger strategy by Nintendo where we could be seeing another Direct the following week, and I want to get into that right now. YouTuber Switch4 said that they have sources telling them that Nintendo has a three-phase or three-pronged strategy in terms of announcements and events coming up. And the Nintendo Direct that we would be seeing this week, or just Nintendo event we would be seeing this week, is prong 2 of said strategy. Switch4 also said that there would be a new game releasing this week as well as a demo for one of the games in the showcase, which has many people believing and just thinking now that it's going to be an Indie World showcase. And in my opinion, that certainly adds up and makes sense, even if you just look at the game release schedule for this upcoming week. The last Indie World event that we did see actually took place in August, so of course with it being a couple days in August now, that definitely adds up. And that also happened on a Tuesday, so maybe by the time you're watching this video, said event has already been announced or maybe even happened. Switch4's doubled down though, tweeting Nintendo making me have to get up early again this week, and yeah, they're of course talking about some sort of presentation in that post. Last Indie World we saw was 7 a.m. Pacific time and 10 a.m. Eastern time, so yeah, that definitely adds up when we just kind of doubled that with Switch4's tweet, and it was also partnered alongside a partner showcase. So yeah, it certainly makes sense that while those two showcases were combined last year, obviously, maybe Nintendo wanted to hit everyone with 3 straight weeks of events like Switch4 said, and I'm sure a part of it also could have been that maybe rather than combining the events like they did last year, maybe they felt there was enough for a separate showcase last week and then a different one this week. And if that third prong of Switch4's strategy that he was talking about that Nintendo's doing is a big general Direct, I think that certainly makes sense. Having one next week, the week before Gamescom, certainly adds up. And even if they have it the week of Gamescom, they could still do that, as they could announce it on Monday the 18th and hold it the next day, as Gamescom does start on the 20th. And always remember to just take these rumors with a grain of salt, because they are just that, rumors. But of course, I'd love for this to be true, because it's always exciting, in my opinion, to get new gaming showcases or news, trailers, whatever it might be. And I just hope that the games included in any potential showcase are of course interesting and exciting. Now we will see about that in Nintendo's rumored event this week or their indie showcase, but I do think whatever we see in the next general Direct will be very exciting. And that leads me into what I want to finish this video on, and that's just what Nintendo's holiday lineup looks like for this year, or just what their lineup looks like for the remainder of 2025 in general. Now Nintendo has doubled down and recommitted that Metroid Prime 4 Beyond will be released in 2025. This comes along with Nintendo themselves publishing news that Prime 4 will be playable at Fan Expo Canada, which takes place from August 21st to 24th, ironically enough the same time that Gamescom's taking place, which we talked about a bit earlier. This makes you think that they'd want to announce a release date for that game beforehand, obviously, and of course they don't need to, they can just stick to saying 2025 for now, but I think with only 4 more possible months to release this game after August, that we'll be getting that locked in release date pretty soon. Also because Nintendo has a lot of other exciting stuff seemingly locked in and coming up in 2025. We know that Kirby Air Riders is also still set to be released in 2025, and I think that's super exciting stuff, as I loved that game back in the day on the GameCube, the first one I'm talking about, and I'm excited to see what Nintendo can do in the meantime. I love that Nintendo is showing love to their other IPs such as Donkey Kong, Kirby, Metroid, but I'm also super excited to see what Nintendo has planned for Mario, as it is Mario or Super Mario Bros. 40th anniversary in September. Maybe that will be its own separate Direct, since there was a 35th anniversary Direct for Mario back in 2020, but I'd expect maybe a remaster of some sort, hopefully Galaxy 2, and then maybe we get a big blowout for a big Mario title next year, whether it's just an announcement or the actual game itself in 2026. Now, Nintendo did announce the port of Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury at that Direct, the 35th anniversary Direct in September, and then it came out in February of 2021. So maybe we could see something similar here where the game gets announced and it doesn't get released until early 2026. But they also announced Mario 3D All-Stars at that Direct on September 3rd, and then released it just 15 days later on September 18th. So sometimes it seems like Nintendo could care less about making people wait and kind of building up for the release of a game, as obviously if the IP is strong enough, like something say like the Mario Brothers, that they'll just release it a couple weeks later, or they don't feel like they need any huge build-up. And even for something that wasn't a super huge Nintendo IP like Metroid Prime, they released the remaster on the same day of the Direct that happened in February of 2023, I believe it was, and that was crazy because that was a very well done remasters to the point that it even looked like a remake. So who knows as of right now, but it seems like there's a lot of really cool stuff that Nintendo has plans that they're not saying anything about right now. We also know that Pokemon Legends ZA is releasing in October, and that's really cool, and I'm excited to see what happens with that game. But also, even though the next game is not a Switch first-party game, we do know that Elden Ring is still set to be ported to the Switch 2 and released this year, and that's a big deal because obviously that was the 2022 game of the year, so getting them on the Switch 2 is going to be really awesome. It's very possible we see Nintendo dropping a first-party game every month for the remainder of 2025 because we have something small like Drag X Drive releasing this month, possibly something Mario related, and then also Pokemon, Metroid Prime 4, and Kirby Air Riders. Now Nintendo could have something else planned, you know, like a 5th possible game to be released, but I think honestly having those 4 games from September through December will probably be just enough, as it gives each game enough time to breathe in terms of the releases from one another, and that's probably, you know, just enough for Nintendo. Now I will say today I did initially want to talk about the game keycard situation going on with the Switch 2, and if you do still want to see a video like that, definitely let me know, but I do also want to know in the comment section what you think about anything we talked about in today's video. If you liked the video though, then please give it a like as it helps me out a lot, and if you're new to the channel or returning to the channel and not subscribed, then definitely hit that subscribe button, as I have a lot of fun stuff that I'm really excited to upload over the next couple weeks. Thank you guys so much for watching though, and I am out. Peace.